About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.
Fully masked and with COVID documents in hand, we began our super early 5 a.m. start to the beautiful island of Mykonos in the centre of the Greek Cyclades. We made a quick visit to the marina base at the new harbour where many large cruise liners moor up. The speedy sea bus run by Captain George picks up passengers from the marina base. Zips past passenger ferries and soon lands at the old harbour next to the old town. We soon returned to our hotel for a couple of cocktails and watched the panoramic sunset. On day 2, we left the amazing hospitality of George the hotel manager and head back down to the old harbour to meet with a warm greeting from the base manager, also George. This time we've chartered a Fontaine Peugeot Lucia 40, intentionally to try out the boat before we buy one next year. As you can imagine, we are super excited. So here we are, we just set off. A little bit of a shaky moment to start with, but everything went well, and I must say we now have what they call golden hour. The sun is about 20 minutes from setting. We will still have daylight until just about 8 o'clock, and we're heading around the corner here, and we're going to pull into a bay there and drop the hook. And yeah, everything so far is going really well. It's been a great departure. The yacht wasn't particularly clean, I must say, but we've made up for it, and we've got all of the provisions on board. Forest supermarket did us proud. They arrived, they helped us out. Great service. Yeah, really good start to the day. We pull up in Ornus Bay at sunset and drop the hook to be surrounded by mega yachts and beach bars. As the night sky gets darker, the music gets louder. We anchored here last night just at sunset. Very, very nice little bay. Swimming on the anchor just to do anchor check. Cheers. This is the second day on the charter, and having a couple of issues. Firstly, the ropes go between these clutches, and that causes snafus and things like that, all sorts of problems there. Then we have one electric winch. When this rope is on here and I've tied it up, pulled it through, there's no locking mechanism here or here. So in order to tack across, I have to undo it completely, let the sails flap around, and then pull this one on. And what that caused is the sail twisted around the forestay, which is not particularly helpful. So that was a bit of a hairy moment as well. The furling line down here, the furling drum, does actually reach up to the drum and go around. But again, how do you have to spin it off completely to get that on, because there's no locking mechanism. Of course, I could use the manual ones instead of the electric winch. We haven't yet lifted the mainsail. Now we haven't lifted the mainsail because we've had about a constant 18, 19, 20 knots of wind. Ow, keep kicking stuff. We also had a bit of a snafu underneath this furling drum today. This line managed to somehow get underneath here a couple of turns round, and so I couldn't even put the sail away. So that was a bit of a concern for me, because I wanted a reef at that time. So I had to come up here and sort that out. Luckily I managed to do it without any tools. But yeah, that wasn't what I was hoping for. So yeah, we've had a bit of a bumpy start, I think. Some guys over here just having barbecue or a bonfire on the beach. A little house up here. A little light on, right on the top of the hill. So we've just come across the bay in winds averaging 20 something knots. We saw peaks of about 28. Now it wasn't the wind that was concerning me, it was the actual sea state. They were only 1.5 metre waves, but they were very close together, which made the journey very rocky. Anyway, so we're heading, well, you can't see it, but over this way here, we're heading to a place called Naxos, or Tinos. No, Naxos. And let me just take you over there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a few boats coming out. Just around the corner here, there's a place called, well, it's the island of Naxos, and there's a town in there. We're hoping to get some fresh veg and whatnot. But we thought we'd just pull into this little bay, have a bit of lunch or late breakfast. It's all very nice. The lighthouse up there reminds us of the one we stayed at Beachy Head, although that one's all boarded up. A few boats out. Quite a few boats out, actually. Nice sailing weather for a, well, I say nice, it's a strong sailing weather for a monohull. Very nervous about this cat. Oh dear. With the wind on the nose and only the starboard engine, we struggled to head up into the wind, but eventually made it safely into the harbour. As we approached the town quay, with limited manoeuvrability, we were welcome to moor alongside the quay, rather than the typical stern-to mid-mooring. Later, once safe, our nerves calmed and we headed out to find a taverna for dinner, and stumbled upon an awesome street performer. Very cool. That is very cool. I don't give it the money. Not much. We think we found the problem. We've got an engineer coming out just to check, sort things out. And yeah, just behind here. Now look at the church up here, look. Spectacular. Beautiful place. Don't know much about the history, I haven't read up on it, but there's a little like a terrace garden around the back here, which is just got the most amazing food, and it wasn't expensive. I mean, we had four main courses, 4 starters, half a carafe of wine for the girls and half a carafe of wine for the boys. And they came to €68. It was amazing, fantastic food. But look at this place, isn't it nice? Really, really pretty. Now, of course, this town quay is fine, but as the Blue Star ferries come in and moor up alongside the one that's under the red and black one that's under construction there, you get a bit of swell because he comes in at probably, I don't know, 15 knots before he slows up, and then of course all the swell comes in here. Apparently the corners are the worst, but yeah, I mean it's a spectacular little quayside. It was quite noisy last night. I mean the music was in the bars. I mean if you like that thing, it's fantastic, but we were trying to sleep. So yeah, the sun's now coming up. Not too bad. Unfortunately, we can't set off yet. So we're heading over to here today. The island on the other side of the, I don't know what you call this thing, the sea, I suppose. That's Tinos. We're carrying on Sidos. Over there is the island with the lighthouse.
While we waited, Neil discovered a nearby taverna with a pretty waitress serving ice-cold lager. Results. A few hours later, George the engineer, honestly you could not make this up, called Valvo and confirmed the prop was secure, so we quickly set off back to the small island. After a short sail, we arrived safely, dropped the anchor and let out plenty of anchor chain. I then swam out to check that it was securely dug in. Then it was time for a little fun before a couple of sundowners
And what is it, Shmoo? Show us the label. Oh, we can't do this on YouTube, can you?
what we needed today.
It'd be product placement.
That's quite tasty.
Cheers.
Nice. Cheers. Cheers.
With the winds building, we decided to take turns to watch the anchor overnight so that the rest of the crew could sleep without worrying. We also decided to head back to base early in the morning, seeing that 45 knot winds and 3 metre seas were forecast for the next few days. The sea stays calmed down. Well, actually the sea and the winds calmed down. We had 30 knots of wind, gusting 32. They say that the size of the waves never comes out on video. I reckon they're about almost 2 metres. Super choppy out there earlier. And this is why we decided to take safety in the harbour, in the marina. That's what they call beside the sea. Oh, hello.
City down fools.
So this is Mykonos, wonderful little streets, beautiful shops, all these quirky little, I don't know what you call them, little knick-knack shops. You've got restaurants, you've got souvenirs, all sorts. think he's looking at the bird up there, making din-dins.
The best seats in town.
This is what we waited for.